It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Some of you might have seen my Ossett Brewery Yorkshire Blonde video, which I just released on the channel and reviewed very recently. I was in Leeds. I picked up a couple of beers in Morrison's, a couple of the Ossett Brewery beers. So I'm going to follow up the Yorkshire Blonde with White Rat Hoppy Pale Ale, 4% ABV. If you've not seen the Yorkshire Blonde video, check it out after this one if you so wish. But White Rat, there's the bottle cap for Ossett Brewery. I've had a couple of beers from Ossett now. I've had, of course, the Yorkshire Blonde, which we've just reviewed, and the Treacle Stout. I had the Treacle Stout about 10 years ago, and it was fabulous, really fabulous. So, without further ado then, let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. Now, nice bit of smoke on the bottle opening, of course, look at that. I'm sure I've had this beer before. I went, or let's get it poured out first and then I'll tell you where I might have had this beer. We got a 2-finger whitehead. Good levels of slow moving carbonation. On its way to being amber in colour. It's a very light coloured amber beer, if you want to call it. It's almost a blonde coloured ale, this one. Good levels of carbonation, nice looking beer. So about 8-9 years ago, I went up to Magic Rocks Brewery when it was a tiny little brewery. I did a brewery tour up there. The video's still on YouTube if you want to watch it. I'm far younger back in those days. But I was drinking with Richard Burhouse, the owner of Magic Rock, and Rob Hopsine, my friend Rob Derbyshire, who also runs a YouTube channel. Check him out, he's a nice guy. But we went out to a couple of pubs in Huddersfield, where Magic Rock are based. And I remember right at the end of the night, do you know when you're a little bit sideways and you wake up in the morning and everything was a little bit hazy? Well, I remember the last beer that I drank before I probably either ended up in an Indian restaurant or back in my bed for the night was White Rat. I'm pretty sure I've had this beer on cask up there in wonderful Huddersfield. Now, I picked this beer up in Morrison's, Ossett Brewery, beers in the big Morrison's in Leeds, the one with the big escalator. I was in there a couple of months ago, and I picked this bottle up, thinking, yeah, I've had this, I'm going to review this, because I'm sure I've had it before. So here we go then, Aroma on the beer. 1-finger white, 2-finger whitehead, 1-finger whitehead, here we go. Ooh, this is a little bit more like it. This is nice. A little bit more zesty, a little bit more kind of miles an hour. I like the Yorkshire Blonde, I did. I just felt it was a beer brewed to capture the lager market. This is more my type of, they put some American hops in here. You can just get the aroma of that. It's like grapefruity and lemon and lime aromas. It smells good. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's my type of beer. Oh, that is my type of beer. Oh, I gotta put that down. I gotta put that down. Stone the Crows. Stone the Crows. Ooh. That's delicious. That is really delicious. A real big spike of grapefruit and lemon and a little bit of lime. The bitterness on the back end of this beer is tremendous. It's really good. Like a slow kind of build of a bitterness on the back of the palate. that just hangs around. It kind of lingers on the taste. Oh, it's good. Oh, it's good. Oh, this reminds me of drinking the American pale ales back in the day. You know, when they were first probably something like Saltaire's Cascade Pale Ale. I used to love that beer. Saltaire Cascade. What a beer that was. But this reminds me of Saltaire Brewery's Cascade Pale Ale. And of course, they're both in that region. Ossett Brewery, Saltaire Brewery. They're in that kind of Leeds, Yorkshire, Huddersfield kind of way. They're actually based in Saltaire, in Saltaire, our Saltaire Brewery. And Ossett, I'm sure Ossett are Leeds. I'm sure they're Leeds. WF. Maybe Bradford way, is it? If I had a favourite little boozer somewhere, oak beams, timber floor, maybe a pool table in the corner, fire roaring, hops straddled over the bar, hop vine, you know, and they had this on draft, I reckon I would stay in that pub all evening, all night. 4% ABV, really crisp, really clean, really drinkable, lovely and hoppy. Oh, I'd be in my element. I would just stay there. I would just stay there. I almost miss the newspaper, you know. I used to like grabbing a newspaper and sitting there with a beer. You know, minding my own business time. That is so good. That is so good. That is so good. Equally, in my garden with a barbecue roaring on a hot summer's day, this would just crack it. This would be the ideal beer. I'm just in love with the level of bitterness here, but balanced bitterness. It's not just bitter for the sake of being bitter. There's a little bit of sweetness over there. There's a little bit of bitterness over here. But there's flavours of orange peel and grapefruit and tangerine. And it's just lovely. It's really good. Really, really good beer. Now, forgive me, because I picked this beer up in Morrison's a couple of months ago and I put it in my beer fridge, and I've had so much to do over the last couple of months that I almost forgot about the few beers that I've picked up in Morrison's, because sometimes beers like this, and they're almost shelf fillers, they're almost like your 3 for £5 bottles in the supermarket. You almost kind of like completely miss them for the can. You go for the cans, and you always go for the canned craft beer these days. But I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased I picked this up. I'm actually over the moon that I picked this up in Leeds, because I wouldn't have tried it in the bottle. I just wish I had my local Morrison's down here in South Wales would stock this white wrap, because I'd be buying it all the time. Let's rate it. White wrap. This very pale hoppy ale is made from low colour malt, a combination of Cascade, Columbus and Amarillo hops. They're really there. Produce an intensely aromatic and resinous finish. It's beautiful. Beautiful beer. Beautiful beer. I like that enough to give it a Stone the Crows. For 4% ABV, it's a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Give me 10 of those. I'd drink 10 of those easily. Brilliant beer. Thanks for watching. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.